Tag Show. The Mixed Tag Show. With Jenna and Blue. Damn. Now, here's your host, Jenna and Blue Magic.
Yeah, what's going on? It's the Mixed Tag Show with
Jenna and Blue.
There you go.
Azul.
There you go.
What's
Mr.
up?
Tranquilo himself.
How are you?
I'm getting yourself.
I'm okay.
You don't like my nickname, Mr.
No,
Tranquilo?
it's not really your nickname. It's stolen. But it's what you do. You steal stuff.
How's it stolen? Nobody calls himself Mr. Tranquilo.
Anyway, yeah. So how was your week?
It was cool.
Yeah.
As you can see, I have a new addition on my face. Some kind of like.
Getting used to that.
Yeah, I just got it today, so it's like
4 eyes.
Name calling doesn't get to me.
Okay,
I dealt with it enough when I was younger.
Well, listen. It was a little joke. Everyone knows I'm just joking.
It's
That's
only
what
for 2 weeks, and I'm getting LASIK surgery. I can't do this.
How long is the downtime? Because we have a show to do.
It takes a day for LASIK surgery.
You know what? I had an old manager actually couldn't take his glasses anymore either. Got it like in the middle of the day and was like back the next day. So,
Exactly.
You're right. All right, Mr.
I'm tired of glasses. I'm kind of tired of contacts. Let's just get my eyes
You want
right.
to be like us, right?
Really? Wow.
20/20 vision.
Wow. Thanks for the shot.
Knock on wood. That's
You're-
a blessing.
Yeah. it
Anyway,
is.
how was your week, your weekend?
It was cool.
It's just the
I had my
glasses.
son this weekend, so I just chilled
How
out
was
with my
that?
son. It was
Did
fun.
you get on his nerves like you always do?
No, you crazy. He made me add Daniel Bryan's music to his iPad.
Smart guy.
He was like, "What's the Yes Guy song? I want the Yes song." I'm like, "The Yes song."
guy.
I'm like, "The Yes song." He's like, "Yeah." He was da 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 da. I'm like,
so cute.
"Oh, okay," and I added it. How was your week?
Yeah, same old. I went to Miami
I know you were lit out
for a
there.
day.
You was
I'm
lit.
balling.
That's balling right there.
Baller status.
I know. Kind of like that Mella skit that we did, huh?
Jenna's money. Hashtag Jenna's money.
It says Mella's money.
Someone said we should get a shirt that says Jenna's money, and I totally agree.
I don't agree with that.
Anyway, I went to Miami for like literally a day, celebrate one of my best friend's birthday. Shout out to Kay. Happy belated, even though, it just passed or whatever. So,
Yeah. Happy birthday.
But yeah, so we went there for a day. It was cool. I felt it was all right. I had a low-key tan, though. Did you notice?
Yeah, I kind of saw that.
Yeah?
Kind of.
What'd you think?
It's cool, I guess.
Okay. And, but I think Miami is a little overhyped. Sorry if anybody's from Miami, but I really do think it's all right. So.
Yeah, I enjoy Orlando better.
Okay. Well, whatever.
Bang. Bang.
But yeah, guess what?
What?
We are at 100 subscribers.
Another applause.
So thank you, everyone. It took a million years, but thank you guys for, we reached our first milestone.
Yes.
So
Custom domain name
finally.
will be there.
We need to this on the soundboard where it goes. Ooh.
Like the glorious sound.
Yeah, exactly. So
I will add that to the list.
okay, make sure you do that. Don't forget. But yeah, we reached 100 subscribers, so thank you guys. We also still have the Roman Reigns giveaway, so it's going on until next week. We'll announce the winner next week. So thank you everybody that has followed, liked the post, subscribed, the whole nine.
If you want a chance to win the Roman Reigns shirt, go ahead and head over to our Instagram at the Mixed Tag Show to follow the rules on how to win a shirt.
There you go.
Size small.
And we're partnering with the WWE shop, so as always, we have our link. If you want new merch, old merch, whatever, just use our link that's provided on our YouTube page, Instagram, all our social medias, right?
Yep. And you can also hit us up on our personal pages at...
Wow, you just knocked out my water.
And
you almost messed up my sunglasses.
Don't you
wow. At Miss Jenna Baby, BAYBEE, and...
At Blue Magic Grind, spelled how it sound.
Boom.
Boom.
We're going to get into the show?
Let's go into the show.
All right, so first we had Extreme Rules this past Sunday. We're not going to really go into the whole show, but just things that stood out. So one of the matches that stood out to you was Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy versus the B Team.
And the B Team won the tag team titles. Why?
Don't know. The Raw's tag team division has been a joke for a while. This is what goes back to what I mentioned to you weeks before, that, as much as you didn't like the Bar, they were kind of good.
No, and again, I had no problem with the bar. I didn't like the makeshift team. Just like I don't like the Deleters of Worlds. It's 2 single people winning the title. I would rather people like the AOP, Ascension, like real tag teams to get a shot at this.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, it's part of like WWE history just to partner 2 people that aren't typically tag teams and give them titles. Well, I'm not mad at that, but the Raw tag team division is kind of a joke right now. So
nah, I'm not mad at it. I'm not arguing that right now.
Finn Balor and Constable Baron Corbin had a match, and finally, Finn won.
I didn't pay attention to this match.
He didn't pay attention to the match. I did either, but the one thing that stood out was Finn finally got a win.
That's always good.
And I don't think this feud is over. I think Constable Baron Corbin, right? Because this is how I would book it, right? Because this is what we do.
Right.
Keep antagonizing Finn, like kind of be a bully. So he won. Now what am I gonna do? I'm gonna push my power on you,
right? And
make life a living.
He should have restarted the match.
He could have did that, but besides that, that he pushes Finn to a certain point. That what happens? It releases the Demon King at where? SummerSlam. Boom. We haven't seen him in what, a year?
Almost a year since he fought AJ.
Almost a year. A little. Okay. I always forget that it was. No, was it? Yeah. I always forget. I always keep thinking of SummerSlam last year. But yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I would do that, is push him to his limits where we release the Demon King. So hopefully we see that.
After that, we had the SmackDown Women's Championship match between Carmella and Asuka.
Now, I love Mella. Mella's money, but
this is getting ridiculous.
It's not even that it's getting ridiculous, but Asuka is a joke now.
That's what I'm saying. This is getting ridiculous.
And, James Ellsworth, he's not a good addition. I think it was kind of cool. I did mark out a little bit when the first time when they faced off, just because Mella got to retain her title.
Right.
But he's not a needed addition. It was a silly match. You know what I mean?
Everybody knew he was going to escape the cage.
Exactly.
Anyway, and it's not like it's been done in the past year with Enzo.
The match was more so focused on that and then Asuka getting at him as opposed to actually the women actually wrestling. I'm a big advocate for women's wrestling, and this just wasn't it. And Asuka's a joke. How do we even rebuild Asuka now? You can't get her back on a winning streak, or maybe you could. Maybe you can. Maybe, you know what? I would probably at this point turn Asuka heel.
Yeah, I like heel Asuka.
Yeah.
She's very dominant.
She needs it at this point.
She's very dominant.
She's dominant. I mean, both are dominant, but
heel Asuka
is needed.
Level.
Yeah. You can probably, maybe she's on some she went crazy because she's been losing all these matches. I don't know, but a change is needed because she's a joke now.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Everyone's ready for Asuka.
Everybody. Basically. That's what it's going with.
So,
I felt bad for my boy Kevin Owens, though.
Why'd you feel bad for Kevin?
Yo, did you not see what Braun did to him?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Braun threw him off the top.
One thing I love about KO, he is always willing to put his body on the line.
Yes,
that you
can't deny that.
Yeah,
he takes one for the team.
That reminds me of Shane, just always taking one for the team. That was a crazy bump.
It was.
My thing is, again, this is another character now. How do we get Kevin Owens back onto that?
The right path.
Exactly, because now he just seems like a punk.
Like a novelty. Like every time he sees Braun, he's scared and runs away.
What do you mean a novelty?
Like he's just there for comical relief, because this whole thing is basically comical. Like you're afraid of Braun.
And that's the thing with
hiding away in a potty and
that's the thing is with Braun in general. I feel like his character is
a novelty.
For comedic relief.
Right.
Even when he was a heel, it was just because he was doing so many crazy stuff. It was just it was so crazy that it was laughable.
Right.
How we fix KO? Would you ever turn KO face?
Yes.
You would?
Yes.
I don't know.
I see him as a modern day Stone Cold. I see it like the anti-hero, anti-establishment.
Yeah, but I don't see. I get, just because we had this conversation a few weeks ago when we first started the show, what have you. He's good at the mic and he's good at just being, disobedient and what have you. But I don't see him as a face. I don't think that would be the way to fix him.
I think it would be, only because I think he could be you supposed to be like get mad at the authority, like you supposed to have my back, and I guess you just think for yourself, kind of turn, kind of like again like Austin. Like
I think what makes Kevin work is not teaming him up with someone, but just having someone kind of like his sidekick.
he saved somebody one day.
Kind of because you've seen with Chris Jericho and this guy, Sami Zayn, it worked, right?
Right.
So I just feel like KO probably needs that. He's that type of heel that just needs someone in his corner to get him over. You know, even though he's a legitimate badass and he's great on the mic, I feel like he's just that type of, like most heels, is like a scary heel that you need someone in the corner. KO, someone I think that they could probably pair him up with someone.
So you don't see him as a face?
Nah, I don't ever see him as a face.
Oh.
I mean, we'll see. It just when wrestlers or superstars are able to switch like that, it shows how great they are.
Versatile.
So if he can how versatile they are. So if he can do it, great. I don't see it, and I don't think that's the way to fix it.
I think he could.
All right. Well, Blue has faith in KO.
Kind of how I don't know. How did you feel about the Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss match with Ronda sitting on the side?
I am annoyed. I'm always annoyed. Alexa Bliss never takes bumps. There was only 2 spots, right? Nia had threw her barely on the steel
steps.
No, not steps. On the chair, and when she dropped her on the garbage can, the trash can.
Right.
I understand that's what she's supposed to do. She's supposed to be a scary heel, but Mickey fought. It was Mickey versus Nia Jax. Right. Right? But would I book this match any differently? Probably not.
How did you feel when Ronda jumped the rail? And
I'm bored with Ronda. If I had any doubts about her, she's.
I mean, she made Alexa take bumps.
Yeah, I mean, Ronda's great. I can't even. I don't have any complaints about it. The only thing I might have a complaint about, which is not her fault, that she's got a push in front of everyone.
Right.
But she's Ronda Rousey.
Can't, yeah.
I wouldn't change it. She's being booked amazing at this point.
Right. I just think, like you said, I think it's too. So like when they announced the match, the package started off with Ronda versus Alexa, and then they went to Nia Jax, as an afterthought. Yeah. I'm saying and even honestly, even when they do the video package for the new video game, and it's her, I'm like.
I was feeling that 2K commercial.
It was.
That was
a tough commercial.
Chills.
It was a tough commercial, but I think it was more so I was angry that there's so many more people like Becky, Sasha.
Well, I mean, we'll definitely talk about Becky and all that later. What I would change for this, though, obviously we know where this is heading for Alexa and Ronda. I would have them give Mickey and Nia a feud. Because, again, you have to utilize your talent. Right. And if Mickey's constantly getting involved, give her something to do. Right. Honestly.
Because she's just a psychic again.
At this point. And then have Alexa, sometimes come to Mickey's aid. I would form a feud with that. Honestly.
I would book it that way for only so that Nia could take out Mickey for SummerSlam and she can't be out there for Alexa.
Okay.
When she goes
I mean, regardless, anyway, I think Ronda's gonna win at SummerSlam, but it's better than Bliss.
Oh, that's your hashtag, better than Bliss?
Hashtag better than Bliss. Okay, so we had after that, obviously, Alexa retained.
Right.
WWE Championship match.
I was annoyed that this, again, wasn't main event in the night.
I remember I saw you tweeting something about it. So how would you book this? You would have had this go on last?
Yes, this would definitely go on last. WWE Championship should always go on last, in my opinion, especially when the Universal title is not.
That's how it was back. That was how it was back in the day.
Exactly.
It was always the main event was always a championship match, the heavyweight champion.
Exactly, and to me, it's like you're basically disrespecting the history of the title. That's your most prestigious title.
And AJ's held it for. I think I saw a graphic on Wednesday. 200. He's held the title for like 253 days. So
and he's number 16 of all time.
Exactly. So obviously there's some prestige, historical numbers around that, and you're treating the WWE Championship as an afterthought. Which for me, I wouldn't have AJ lose to Rusev because, I don't think Rusev is ready to hold the title. I do feel he should drop the title. I'm kind of tired of his reign.
And you said this to me, and somebody else said this to me, and it's like there's no pleasing you guys.
Well, in what sense?
Only because when their title keeps getting passed around, is always losing its value. Now we have somebody that's actually defending it and putting great matches behind it.
But he's had it for. But you see how that messed up everything. Yes, I understand AJ is on the cover of 2K. I love AJ. You will never hear me say anything bad about him. But now had AJ lost to Shinsuke. Shinsuke has the title that creates a feud with someone else, maybe Daniel Bryan, which could be Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. You know what I mean? That can set up to WrestleMania.
Right.
The Jeff Hardy could have faced Andrade for the U.S., which was originally the plan.
Right.
And now you have your foreign heel, which is Vince. You know what I mean? There's so many different scenarios that can help the product and help different superstars. But yes, I understand, when the title keeps getting passed around, yes, it loses its value. But at the same time, okay, 200 and some odd days, like unless that reign was like really something, then okay. Like for example, when CM Punk held that title for 1,000,000 days, he was a face and he was a heel.
But that's what I was getting to. I understand that you might get tired of the character that he has now with the title, but him having the title, I think this was a perfect opportunity for the double turn. Because Rusev's day was automatically over. Which
is what I'm saying. So for that match, I wouldn't have been tired had AJ's character changed.
Right.
But it hasn't changed, and I still like his character. He's a phenomenal AJ.
And that's why I wore the shirt today. I think he was going to talk about this.
But I think it's time for him to drop it.
I don't think it's so much drop. I think it's time for him to change his character.
I think he should drop it.
Because
I want to see who else can run with the title. If worst case scenario, if someone can't run, who to call, AJ, because he's a sure thing. But this is the whole point of letting other superstars shine and seeing what they can do. We saw with Nia, it didn't really work. They had to throw it back on Bliss. Now we know Nia is probably not the way to go. You know what I mean?
But to your point, you don't know who they're building it up for, though. Because eventually he does have to drop it. Now, when he drop it, I think they're trying to build it up for either The Miz or Daniel Bryan, like you said. But they don't know yet. They don't know yet because of Daniel Bryan's contract situation, which we'll discuss a little bit more later.
So we had the main event, which is you were annoyed about. That was the one that closed out the show. The Intercontinental Championship match between Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins. How would you book this? Did you think it was the right way to go? What?
First of all, this match was a joke, in my opinion.
I didn't find it to maybe it was a good match. I don't know, but I got turned off by the fact that it was 3-0 and then.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
First of all, this is supposed to be an Iron Man match. 30 minutes is not Iron Man worthy.
Correct.
I understand you did it with Sasha and Charlotte and Bayley because you wanted to test it out. That's fine. But to do it for the IC title and then have Rollins go up 3-0 within 5 minutes.
It's predictable. It's predictable because, first of all, we know Dolph isn't losing.
Right.
We know it's 30 minutes, so that means, you know what I mean, he's going to come back. Drew was going to get involved, which he did. How do you change it then? I would have actually opened up. Well, here's my dilemma. I understand what you said about the WWE Championship match, but it's like an Iron Man match. That's technically supposed to be a long, grueling match, and that can wear out a crowd.
And that's fine. And I would have definitely put that on last if it was 60 minutes. But it was 30 minutes.
True.
And then you had 6 of your pinfalls within 7 minutes.
True. True.
And then for the rest of the time, it was just a waste. It was a good match, but you got turned off because it was like you got a pin off of a roll up. Really?
Now, I think would have been great. Apparently, you said this. I don't know if I missed this, whatever. But going to overtime.
Yeah,
and then possibly have Dean come out.
I didn't say the overtime part. I just said Dean come out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's why it looked like it was leading to that. Obviously, overtime.
Right.
We knew that was going to be the situation, which happened.
Right.
I guess we both agree
that Dean should have came out and cost Seth the title.
It would have been a refreshing character change for Dean because he was very stale as a face. Now we have a feud for SummerSlam between Dean and Seth.
But I'm hearing that they're repackaging Dean completely. So I'm interested to see what they come out with.
I hope they don't change it too much. I think the lunatic fringe works for him, but
just
tweak it.
Exactly. But I'm very interested to see what happens. But yeah, that match should have never ended.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been called the Iron Man match. Seth went longer than 30 minutes on Raw.
With the Gauntlet match. On that note, what did you think of Extreme Rules?
I give like a C.
maybe C- for me.
See?
Yeah. Well, we're doing call-ins, right? So let's get into that right now and see what were their expectations and where they met.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into the first caller. All right, caller, who's this?
This is Angel Moxley.
What's up?
What's going on?
Hey.
So we're asking the question, what did you think of Extreme Rules? What were your expectations of it and were they met? Basically, what do you think?
Honestly, let me see. So I wasn't able to watch the actual pay-per-view because I was at a wrestling show, but when I did watch it, I kind of felt a little bit disappointed because it wasn't too, like, extreme. Like, it didn't meet my Extreme Rules expectation.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Like, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I feel like with, like, a lot of, like, I think Alexa and Nia Jax's match, they actually were using stuff.
Right.
So, like, I wasn't, like, too upset about that. I actually liked that.
But, you know, Alexa didn't really get hit as usual.
No, I think that was all, like, Mickey and shit.
Right. Right.
But exactly, you missed the whole, in general, there wasn't just, nothing was really extreme.
Yeah.
So basically, do you feel it could have been better? Obviously, would you have more?
I feel like it could have been just a bit. I mean, I really liked how Braun threw Kevin.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was a crazy spot.
Oh man, I feel for Kevin.
So what was at least what did you think was the best match of the night?
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of liked the Roman and Lashley.
Why did you like that? And that wasn't extreme though.
It wasn't, but like the way they were like wrestling, they were very aggressive.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah,
I wasn't too mad about their match.
The match wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't.
I would have.
Yeah,
I would have.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, when Lashley was holding onto the ropes and Roman was like, whatever, and just threw him over, I was like, oh, okay.
That was a crazy bump. You're right.
You see, so I mean, you know, Roman can have a decent match.
No, he did have a decent match. I'm not saying he can't.
Okay, because you know, clearly we hear right now it wasn't a bad match. And
it wasn't.
Saying, all right, I just want to make sure because you know how you always hate it.
Oh my God, let's not do this again.
All right, so that was your match of the night.
Yeah, that was my match of the night.
Do you think for with Seth that what do you have thought if Dean actually came out and
interfered
in the match?
Oh well, you guys know I'm a big.
That's why I asked. That's why I asked.
I would have screamed.
That would have been, and it would have been a good look, because now you have, possibly set that up for SummerSlam.
Yeah, I feel like right now they're just trying to save Dean.
Yeah, for like that perfect
trying to
moment.
Save him for something like else. I heard rumors that they're trying to bring him back heel, so fingers crossed.
That's what we were saying. Yeah. That probably should bring him back heel, and apparently they're trying to repackage him too.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right, Moxley, thank you for calling.
Thank you for giving us this call.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, so that was Moxley. Let's go to this next caller right here. Hey, caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Going on? My name is Will, and I'm calling from Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn's in the house.
New York, what's
yes,
good?
Yes, sir.
Jersey's still better though.
In what world?
In my world,
yeah, okay.
That's what matters.
Well, no, it doesn't. But okay.
What's going on, Will? So the question is, what was your expectations for Extreme Rules, and was it met?
Well, my expectation for Extreme Rules was that it was going to be just simply a setup pay-per-view for SummerSlam. I didn't expect it to be a spectacular pay-per-view. I didn't expect it to be trash. If I was to give it a grade, I would give it a B. It met my expectations.
Oh wow!
There was some high spots, there was some low spots, there was some scratching of the head moments, but overall, I was pleased overall with the show because I think it did the right thing to set up for what it seems to be like an epic SummerSlam on paper.
Oh, a positive review of Extreme Rules.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
So you don't think that it was lacking the extreme part?
I feel like this is the PG era, you know. So like the Extreme Rules that you and I are used to, you know, that's in the past. You know, it's not much extreme that it's gonna get. You know, it's not gonna be blood, and it's not gonna be any spots, any high spots of that nature. I felt like one of the biggest pops of the night was Kevin Owens' victory over Braun
Of
Strowman.
course. That's definitely, I feel like something years from now we'll still be talking about. Like, remember when that spot happened when Kevin got thrown off?
It's a Mick Foley moment.
Exactly. I think that's definitely something.
Yeah. It's funny. I was just watching King of the Ring '98, and I thought to myself, we're never going to see a spot like that ever again because, you know, we all know what happened to Mick Foley during that match. So I was surprised when I seen that happen, like him getting thrown off onto a table, and I was just like, "Whoa, this is great." You know, it brought back those nostalgic memories of, wow, 20 years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, but there was definitely some scratching of the head moments. For example, you know, the Nakamura Hardy match. I didn't expect Hardy to lose so quickly. You know, I know Hardy's injured and, you know, things of that nature, but there could have been some sort of way to put Nakamura over. Aside from that, like he did the nut shot and then did the shot, and I was just like, what? Why? And then the Orton coming out. It was weird. It was like, who booked it? And the way Oscar lost was something
that was terrible.
So disrespectful.
Yeah, so those were the two matches that, you know, were the low points for me. But I felt like everything else was pretty solid. I gave it B round. I felt like, aside from the fact that it was weirdly booked as the main event, the Iron Man match was solid. You know, the crowd kind of took the flair out of it. You know, they wasn't into it as much as I would thought they would be, especially given two great workers as Rollins and Dolph Ziggler.
I see what you did there.
But, you know, overall, I think it was a good show. I'm going to be in the building for SummerSlam, and I'm excited to see how this plays out over the next 4 or 5 weeks.
And we'll be right there in there with you.
There we go. All right, so we had a positive review.
There we go. Thanks for the call, Will.
Thanks, Will.
And no problem, man. Thank you guys for having me.
No problem.
All right, that was Will. Let's get into our next caller. Hey, caller, who's this and where are you from?
This is Lionel from Brooklyn.
Another Brooklyn
Another Brooklynite. What's up, Lionel?
I'll find some more Jersey people.
Not
Jersey
much.
sucks. What's up, Lionel?
With you guys?
We good, man. We good. We're here discussing Extreme Rules.
All right.
You watched it, right? Because we can't talk to you if you didn't watch it.
Yeah, I watch it. You know how these pay-per-views go.
So what did you think? What were your expectations? Were they met? What did you think?
I didn't think it was okay. Nothing special. You know, I did like the Iron Man match with Ziggler and Rollins. That was pretty good.
Okay.
Even though the ending I thought was pretty stupid, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was pretty predictable.
So you even liked it, even though they did the whole 3-0 with Seth immediately, and then all of a sudden he came back. What was it?
I expected him to come back. I mean, maybe he could
obviously right.
You know, have him like 1-1, or could have made it more even. But the ending just pretty much just killed the whole match for me.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think my opinion on that was I felt like the 6 falls within 7 minutes would killed it for me.
Yeah.
And when the match did start picking up, and then the ending just like deflated everything.
Exactly.
So what was your favorite match of the night?
Favorite match?
Yeah, your favorite match of the night.
I think that was probably my favorite match. The others were a little bit okay.
So were you? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, so, but like, were your expectations high, or would you expected it to be like you said, okay?
Okay, I didn't expect that to be that high.
Yeah. It's just kind of the trend nowadays. It's okay, which is unfortunate, right? Because we spend all this time watching this, and we want it to be. We expect a good show, and we should get a good show.
And I pay $9.99 a month.
You pay $9.99 a month.
What was your least favorite match of the night?
Least favorite? I think the Team Hell No and the Bludgeon Brothers. I kind of expected a little bit more of that.
Right. Yeah, that felt kind of short as well.
But I guess Kane's injury kind of, made that deflated it
match.
Exactly.
So how do you feel about the WWE Heavyweight Championship not main eventing?
It's disappointing, very. It's not even there. Like I feel like the Intercontinental title is the WWE Championship.
It's the actual title, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, man. Yeah, we all on the same page. We feel the same way.
Exactly. All right, Lionel. Thank you for your call.
Thank you, man.
Oh, no problem. Take care, guys.
You too, man.
Bye.
Yeah.
Hey, that was Lionel, and let's go to our next caller right here.
Yep. Hello, caller. Who's this?
And where you calling from?
You already know it's TKO Kasenko calling from Connecticut, the best state ever.
Oh, no. Let's
Oh,
not do that
no.
now.
What's up?
Come on, man.
No,
So,
like I said, I'm lying. Okay.
so Tyler, you are
It's-
calling the
it's
show again,
Jersey.
sir.
Huh?
I said you're calling the show again. What's up?
I am.
What's up? I know you have a lot to talk about Extreme Rules. What were your expectations for it?
My expectations, honestly, my expectations were low, and I think they exceeded my expectations.
Oh.
I didn't think it was that bad of a show. I saw Jenna was talking a little smack on Twitter or Instagram, whatever, saying it was pretty bad. I honestly didn't think it was that bad. Like, I mean, yeah, I was with my friends, so I think usually when you watch with your friends, it's a lot more fun.
Right.
But I mean, I thought it was a pretty good show. I liked every match had like something different. Like with the Shinsuke and Jeff Hardy match, like that ended out of nowhere. Like it basically was like. It was kind of like a Money in the Bank cash-in type match, you know?
Right.
Like,
It was kind of like a
shocker.
A shocker, yeah.
Right. And you know, we had James Ellsworth, you know, hanging like a.
But
like
that was
he
a
called it
bad match. You can't say that
sexy-
was a good match.
No, I'm just saying like there was different
Elements,
to it.
okay.
Like it all wasn't really the same. Like every match had something different,
Right.
and it wasn't like I don't know, like they didn't like just do all their finishers and kick out, and it was just like they're all like they had different paces to every match, and I don't know, I thought it was good. Like it didn't bore me really for it being 4 hours, you know.
I
So,
can appreciate
I don't know.
that.
I liked it.
So with the pay-per-view being called Extreme Rules, it definitely lacked a whole lot of extreme. That didn't bother you?
Yeah, like, I mean, we did get, you know, Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman, you know, with Kevin Owens getting thrown off, and then,
That might be the moment of the year.
you know,
That might be the moment of the year, or at least one of the moments. That was a big spot.
I think that was like just as high as when Foley got thrown off. Like
We
that
said
We
that.
said that, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it looked pretty similar. So I mean, props to KO for doing something
That's
like
his second bump of the year off of a high spot.
And it was like literally back to back that this happened. So what was your favorite match?
My favorite match, trying to look through the matches. I honestly, I would probably have to say the steel cage match. Like that was like the most intense one.
Right.
Yeah. Do you think that hurt KO's character though? Even though he technically still won, he still he looks kind of weak, don't you think?
Honestly, I kind of knew Kevin Owens was gonna win from some
crazy spot.
Like, something like that. And I mean, it's Braun. Like, if it was anybody else and he lost, I think it may have. But like, they're trying to build up Braun too at the same time. So like, you can't. I don't know. I wouldn't really say it makes him look weak, but I hope if they continue with this, maybe have Kevin Owens get revenge and face him at SummerSlam and beat him there. Because I mean, Braun might cash in anyway. So that could give something to Kevin Owens, and then maybe if Kevin Owens beats Braun and Braun's the new champion, they can have a title match. Then, like, I think it'll be okay for now. I don't think it's really hurting him right now.
I like that idea.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
I thought, like I picture these things, so I don't know. I don't think it will hurt him. I think he'll be fine. But and then also the Intercontinental title match, that was of course good. Besides the crowd trolling with the Royal
with
Rumble
the counting down like Royal
thing.
Rumble.
But I don't know. They still did pretty good for. The one thing I didn't like though is the way that they got their pinfalls.
Right.
I don't think they should have got as many falls as they did, because the way that they did it was
it seemed so rushed.
It was rushed. That's basically what I'm trying to get at. Like, Seth Rollins got his, and then like within a couple minutes, like Seth or Dolph
had
like,
4
caught up like that.
Yeah,
like,
I definitely agree with that.
Kind of like, I think if maybe they each would have got like a fall and then like dragged it for a good 20 minutes, and then the last couple minutes maybe stuff like that, but it was just happening too quickly into the match, and I feel like maybe that's why the crowd started like trolling it a lot more.
Possibly.
It kind of felt like
it was all happening right from the start, and then I don't know, it just kind of. But they still did good. I think it was a good match.
But I agree with that, because the whole point of an Iron Man match is like to see how
your endurance
and how long you last.
Right.
And for them to just
it felt like there was assaulting our intelligence.
Exactly. They typically kind of do.
With 6 or 7 pinfalls within 7 minutes, and it's like, so the beginning and the end of the match was nothing, and in the middle was good, but the beginning and the end is what messes up the match. So
yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
overall, you didn't think it was a bad pay-per-view, even though you saw me talking trash on Twitter. You thought it was a pretty good pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was better than some of the past Extreme Rules, So
okay.
But it could have been better, like any pay-per-view.
It could always be a little bit better.
Out of 5, I would give it like maybe a 3.
Okay.
3.5. 3.5. I'll give it that.
All right, TKO. Thank you as always.
Thanks for the call, man.
Of course. And hey, y'all need to get me into them ads. Just saying, Kev. I wasn't so pleased with Kev's performance. I could have done it. So, give me a call, okay? And I'll gladly do it for y'all.
No problem, man.
Got you.
All right.
All right,
Good
man.
talking to you guys. All right.
So yeah.
See you.
Thanks. So yeah, so that was some of our callers.
Yep.
And their thoughts on the Extreme Rules.
Yep.
We got a little bit of both. Like, some people liked it, some didn't.
Yes, like I said, it's always good to get some different opinions and what have you. But with that said, let's jump into Raw.
Let's go into Raw.
Boom.
It's your show.
It's my show. So my show started off with your boy, Paul Heyman.
Yes.
Well, actually, it started off with Kurt Angle. Obviously, Paul Heyman and Brock had a deadline and what have you to answer, or he would have had to drop the belt, right?
Yeah.
So what did you think of that opening?
I think it was a great sequence, but then it just led into them doing
same old.
The triple threats for the night is basically what they wanted to do at Extreme Rules, essentially. So it was like, we're back at it again, because...
Yeah. I mean, I love the start to it, so I wouldn't change that. Paul Heyman did his thing per usual.
Right.
And it was refreshing to see some other people involved, even though, unfortunately, the same people are facing off to see who's going to face Brock. But I thought it was a refreshing start. The first match between, who was it, Roman?
Balor and McIntyre.
Yeah, that was a really good match.
It was.
I know you of course, you're not happy with the
results because it was predictable. That's what kind of made me tune it out because once you seen the people that was on both sides, you already know who's coming out. Like, you knew Roman was coming on that side. And on the other side, we had Seth Rollins versus Elias versus Bobby Lashley.
Exactly.
And you knew Bobby Lashley was going to win.
Exactly.
So, but then it was like, so what's the point of Extreme Rules match?
Yeah. I just would have cut out the whole triple threat thing or whatever.
Right.
And just maybe have the stipulation of whoever wins out of this bout has a upcoming match after facing whoever wins after SummerSlam.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, like you said, we already know what Bobby Lashley won against Roman Reigns, and it's just like you're just giving Roman another opportunity, which obviously a lot of people are not happy with. So I would have taken that out completely.
I think what happened in Extreme Rules now, which is the build up for next week, to like make it believe like maybe Bobby could beat him again, and only to find out that Roman pins Bobby.
And then we had the main event where Seth, Elias, Bobby won. So again, we're gonna have the same match that we had at Extreme Rules happen next week, which I don't understand. But
I told you that was the setup. Let Bobby win Extreme Rules, so that way when Monday comes next week, we'll have some hope that he could beat Roman, and then Roman prevails.
Well, you know what I want to have some hope for?
A triple threat?
Sasha going heel against Bayley.
That segment.
What did you think about that segment?
That segment made me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Between Sasha and Bayley. Kurt talked to Bayley about the therapy, and then he wanted to have a tag team match together against Dana Brooke and
First
Alexa
of all,
Fox.
I didn't understand what Bayley meant by after, they made segue, but she thinks that they won't ever be together again. I was like, what?
Yeah, that line kind of made me was like, all right, maybe she misspoke.
Yeah.
Then a match happened, and Sasha just went all wild because nobody could hit Bayley. But
which I get that because it's like
so
you're not gonna get at my friend or whatever. I'm the only one to do that.
Right, but then
Sasha Banks is a badass.
Yeah.
Because that whole with Dana.
Yeah.
That was fire. And Dana, she's a badass.
Yo, Dana deserves some. She deserves some more looks.
Hey, at least they got the win. But that bump she took.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Crazy.
But basically, like you said, the situation made you feel a little awkward.
Right.
I felt a little awkward too. But then it always happens. At first, I'm like, I react. I'm like, what is this? And then I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? Sasha is just softening Bayley up. That's what at least I would do. Soften her up. I think I've mentioned that numerous times. That get her on her good side. And then when she's least expecting, turn on her again.
I wouldn't put it past her. That's what Sasha would do. Sasha Hill Sasha.
Hill Sasha would do that.
I mean, she made kids cry.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe even face Sasha. I don't know. But anyway, that's how I'm hoping they book it where, everything.
This is just a setup.
It's a setup, and boom, it sets up our match for SummerSlam.
Yeah, it just was weird that it felt like it was like a romance between the two. I'm like,
yeah.
Don't do this to this feud.
Please don't. We've been waiting for this feud to happen since since Takeover. So
exactly.
Or since Bayley got onto the main roster, we kind of been just like wanting that.
Exactly. So
I'm gonna keep hope alive.
That's our segment.
Exactly.
Keep hope alive.
Keep hope alive.
With hope, we have now Alexa Bliss in the Ronda Rousey segment.
Again, Ronda Rousey is a badass. I would not change this segment.
You wouldn't?
No.
I wouldn't either. Like, only thing was that you suspend her for an extra week, and then she gets a title shot. It just didn't make no sense.
Yeah, because in the grand scheme of things, right, if you do something wrong at work, you don't get rewarded for bad behavior.
Right.
Or just in general, if you do something bad, you don't get rewarded for bad behavior. Yet, Ronda got rewarded. It could be a situation where Kurt has a soft spot because they were partners and he understands Alexa has been annoying. Baron's been annoying. You know, so
he stole his phone, right?
Yeah, Kurt is so. I don't know. He's losing his touch. Isn't it a little awkward for me? It's just on the mic. Is it just me?
No, I think he's not just used to being in
that role. He's
that
just
role.
Yeah.
He's always been better being like the sidekick, side comedy, like in comedies.
Well, he's even been good as a heel.
Or as a heel, but him being a straight up face authority figure is just not.
It's not.
When did you ever think that? When was Kurt ever a good face?
He's been over time a good face.
Aggressive face, but not like this.
Oh, like this. Well, yeah, but I mean, as a face, though. But anyway, besides that, I wouldn't change the segment. Ronda, like, it is a legitimate, the baddest woman on the planet. The way she's just went.
She's very aggressive.
And what's this move that you know that she's been doing? It looks kind of like a F5.
It's like a F5/AA.
It looks brutal, though.
It does. I hope she cleans up a little bit. But
within time, she's getting the fact that she's taken to it without much experience.
Right.
I don't have anything bad. Yeah, I don't have anything
like
bad
I said,
to say.
I'm with it. Just like with, she reminds me kind of like Shayna Baszler.
Well, four horsewomen, right?
I don't recognize that horsewoman.
I don't either. But hey, they run in a pack, right?
Right.
So what did you think of Raw?
I give Raw like a C.
It wasn't that bad. It was. So you're saying Raw was a C, just like Extreme Rules?
What really happened on Raw?
I mean, we saw a lot. We saw good matches. Even there was
a lot of tag team matches.
It was a good matches, but they were good matches. You know, I don't know. I'd give it honestly either between a C plus, B minus. That's just me.
Okay, and the listeners gave it a C.
Okay. So for SmackDown Live, we have Andrade Cien Almas. I had to say Andrade because clearly you don't know how to say that man's name.
Andrade Cien Almas.
Versus AJ Styles earlier Tuesday. Oh. Okay. Please don't do that. Stop doing that.
I'm going to get Greg to do it.
Please stop doing that. AJ Styles, Zelina Vega earlier Tuesday. There was a
little brush up.
A little preview exclusive, basically challenging AJ Styles. That match was super good.
It was, and I feel like they could do so much better if they give it more time.
Do you think?
I didn't like they put the commercial between too.
Yeah, they have that issue with SmackDown. But do you think they will push him to a title shot? So
yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think is that where they're heading to? Would you do that?
I think they're saving that for after SummerSlam. Because
so who would AJ be facing for SummerSlam?
That's the question. That's what I'm trying to
figure
figure out.
Well, you're the producer. Who would you have AJ face at SummerSlam?
I would actually have him face Cien.
So you would have him face Andrade.
I have Cien be mad that he got that L, and every time AJ has a match, go out there and attack AJ over and over and over again.
I want to see Zelina get involved.
I know you do.
That's what makes his character so great, at least in the WWE, is her.
Right.
I want to see, I agree. Just, keep coming at AJ, attacking him. Obviously Zelina's the mouthpiece, orchestrating the whole thing.
Right.
Set up maybe another match, and just she come and does whatever, gets involved some way, somehow, like she did what she would do in NXT.
On SmackDown.
Not on SmackDown, on NXT.
I'm saying like have it done on the SmackDown episode.
Exactly. And because that's what makes him great. He's a great wrestler as is,
right.
But she adds that oomph, exactly. And that whole tranquilo pose that they do together. And then I don't know if you noticed that they're starting to match.
Yeah.
It's just they're a great duo.
Yeah, it's starting to really come together for those two.
You know what's coming together though?
Who?
Becky Lynch.
She's been together.
No, but I mean in regards to creative.
Yes, they're finally paying attention.
Exactly.
They're finally
Becky's always been top notch.
Right.
And finally she's getting her push. She has a momentum. And now we learned that Carmella and her have a match next week.
To see if she gets a shot at SummerSlam.
I would change it, though, to have Becky face someone else. I never really like having...
I don't either.
I never really like having matches where if you know that's who they're going to face, why would you give us a preview of that?
Of that match.
Exactly. I would have, let's have Becky, if she can beat someone else,
Right. Have somebody else claim the throne as well. Like, and this is why sometimes you need to have two parallels running at the same time with all the energy. Just as Becky Lynch was going through Riot Squad as many times as she did, you should have had like a Naomi or who
Riot
else?
Squad or Absolution?
Absolution. Sorry, same team. Anyway.
Clearly.
And have somebody else run like a Naomi or who else is not being used right now.
Honestly, I would have
run parallel and then have them meet at the top.
So Charlotte's out because of
surgery.
Okay, so we couldn't use Charlotte, but this is a great storyline because I've been pushing for Becky and Charlotte to face off. So this would have been perfect to have Charlotte if, let's say, she returns next week. You know what I realized? Do you know how long Charlotte's gone for?
I'm not sure.
We didn't even go for our draft points, did we?
Nah, we didn't.
Okay.
We'll do it after SmackDown.
Okay. I would have them face off.
Right.
Obviously, Becky wins. Charlotte's not really feeling that because she's the queen, right?
Yeah, she should be.
Exactly.
And it breaks their tie.
Exactly. Well.
They're 2-2 right now.
Okay, but then that would make Charlotte a heel. She eventually attacks Becky, and I want Becky to be the one to be the heel. Whatever. That's down the road. I can't think too far. But I would have Becky and Charlotte, if she wasn't injured or surgery, face off, and then Becky wins, faces Carmella. But other than that, I'm excited for Becky to have her moment at one of the big four at that. So
what if Becky doesn't win next week? Oh my God.
There's no way. Carmella needs an opponent. She needs an opponent.
We'll be back here next week.
And me going off as to why Becky didn't win and what have you.
Oh, man. How did you feel about the eulogy that The Miz had for Team Hell No?
I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for Daniel Bryan and The Miz to set it off, and they set it off. Boosh. You don't have, like, explosion?
No explosion.
Boosh.
Add that to the list, explosion. Next to the
What was the other thing that you have to
Glorious.
Okay, I just want to make sure because your memory sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think?
I think it was good. I feel like they're playing it safe right now because of the whole thing with Daniel Bryan not signing a new contract yet. So, like I said, I thought they would play the long ball and wait for WrestleMania. They're probably like, nah, let's just pull the trigger now because we don't know what's going to happen.
And hey, maybe one of those feuds. I don't mind. It's one of those feuds that continue on to WrestleMania.
Right.
Because those are kind of like the best matches.
Like a nagging.
Yeah, and maybe eventually down the line, those two can face off for the title. So I wouldn't book this differently. Miz is always going to do his thing. And Daniel Bryan, I loved, instead of him coming out from the stage.
The new aggression of his.
That aggression, right.
His promo skills, too, got way better.
Yeah.
He's been practicing at home.
Yeah, well, even him being a GM, too, it's helped him be comfortable on the mic. So
and doing commentary during the Cruiserweight Classics.
Facts. You know what? So funny thing is, Tuesday I got home late from work. Like literally got home at 8 when SmackDown started, and I was super tired. So I basically watched most of it, but I dozed off through most of it.
Right.
But I tell you what I woke up for. All of a sudden, I see Randy Orton come out and bug the F out. At one point, I didn't know what I was watching. I was like, what is this?
Yo.
Which is, I think, everyone's reaction. That man, that's sick.
Put his finger inside the big hoop in Jeff's ear.
In Jeff's ear.
And started pulling. And just for people that's not real quick about Extreme Rules, Shinsuke Nakamura beat Jeff Hardy in like 6 seconds after giving him a low blow before the bell.
Yeah, and they had their rematch on SmackDown.
Yeah, and he won the U.S. title. And then, Randy Orton came out during the rematch and did that. I covered my eyes. It was like hard to watch. It was like
I almost did the same. I almost did the same thing too. But I'm like, yo, he can't pull he's not gonna rip his earlobe on. Like what? This is PG.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I like this Randy Orton. This is old school Randy.
And no, because Randy's been so stagnant
and stale and boring.
And I honestly thought that was it for Randy. I thought he was kind of riding off into the sunset type thing. You bring him back here and there, but it just is very, very old school Randy.
He grew his hair back. It was like, all right.
And you told me you had a reason why as to the match between Shinsuke and Jeff was so short.
Right. Basically, Jeff is dealing with a lot of injuries right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only like at house shows he's not doing swanton bombs. because his back. But now it's an added thing that it might be a fear of his neck being injured as well because he's getting numbness a lot in his arms. So I'm thinking they're trying to minimize how much he's being used. And I don't really think they wanted the rematch with SmackDown, but they probably seen all the comments on Twitter like, yo, what happened with Jeff? We wanted the match. This is it.
Well, but now we see with the situation with Randy and Jeff that there's a budding feud. So what happens? Did you continue to throw Jeff out there or what?
I think they're going to find a way to write Jeff off for a little bit because he really do need to, like, heal up. Because, once your arms start getting numbness, it's something serious in your neck.
So what did you think of SmackDown?
It was good. It was very entertaining for the entire 2 hours. I know you didn't see most of it.
I mean, I saw what I needed to see. Right. I was entertained. I was just tired. I wasn't falling asleep because I was bored. I was just tired.
Yeah, no, I understand. But, yeah, it was a very good show for me. I give it a B+.
I agree. What did you think? What did the viewers and listeners think?
They gave it a B. B+, kind of, almost A. So
it was a good show.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I was encouraged by this week's. After the Extreme Rules and after the past couple of weeks, I was very, very much happy with this week's episode.
This was their highest ratings in the past 4 weeks.
Was very good. So, and going back to our draft points real quick.
Do we have to do this?
You got only scored 1 point this week, giving you a total of, this is Blue Magic Club, by the way, if you guys didn't know his stable. 2,787 points, so Blue Magic Club is still in the lead. The Queen's Court got a total of 90 points, so I did 89 to your 89 more points
this is
than
a
you.
Bad week for both of us. More so for me.
More so for you, buddy. It's just 1 point, and I have a total of 2,187 points. SummerSlam is coming up, so our season is almost over. But again, for those of you who are listening and watching, we're gonna open it up so you guys can do this because I'm done.
Are you gonna wear the shirt?
Whatever, I don't care. Leave me alone. Let's get back to the show. We're trying to shorten this up. You're talking too much.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about this.
So we're not really talking about 205 Live or NXT, right?
Nah, it's not much. Kairi Sane became the one contender for the NXT title, so she'll be facing Shayna Baszler over at TakeOver Brooklyn.
Boom, boom. It's Liddy.
We need a boom. Put that on the list.
What else do you have to do?
Boom. Glorious sound. And then
explosion.
An explosion.
And boom.
Boom.
Okay.
Boom and explosion is kind of the same thing.
Not really.
Okay.
Hot topics.
Well, apparently Kane is legitimately injured.
And we're not going to see him for a while because this man is trying to be a mayor.
And I think that's the real reason why they're saying that he's really hurt, because it was reported that his opposing person was like, oh, how you running for mayor and you're trying to be a wrestler at the same time. And this came out last week.
Okay.
So I feel like this was the way it was like, all right, we gotta we don't want this kind of heat on us. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead.
So last week Paul Heyman wrote apparently the opening segment to Raw. I find that interesting because it wasn't that really a good, well, it was the feud, it was. But I find it interesting just because is he going to continue? Because obviously Raw is slacking, so we need some of that firepower for in regards to that. So I think that was a good look to add Paul in that sense because we're not utilizing him, especially with Brock being wherever.
And this is what I was going to add to is like, so if Brock loses the title at SummerSlam, this gives him something to do while Brock goes to prepare for UFC.
Well, not even gives him something to do, but hopefully they pair him off with someone else. So Vince actually wasn't at Extreme Rules, but he did
that explains a lot.
No, does it?
Yes.
Why you figure?
Because Roman didn't end the show.
Well, no, but even still, though, the officials kept in contact with him, and he still made.
I know. That was
he was trying to be funny.
I need that to do.
It wasn't that funny.
That's a drum roll.
Triple H and Billy Kidman worked gorilla position instead of Vince. I was surprised by that just because I expect a lot more from Triple H and Billy, but then Vince was still essentially running the show.
They
just not
did
from
the best
there.
they can.
Yeah, so.
Like I said, don't be twisted. If Triple H's like, oh man, I didn't see the text message when you said Roman can end the show.
I doubt that. Someone's trying to be a comedian. It's still not working.
You guys feel me, right? You guys are yeah.
Going away from WWE a little bit. Alpha Club versus Bullet Club.
Yeah, it was announced on a new Being the Elite.
Yes.
And
the Bucks of Jericho.
The Bucks of Jericho versus Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, and Marty Scurll.
Yeah, Marty Scurll, and yeah, that should be entertaining.
On the Jericho's cruise.
Yes, you should buy our tickets.
I'm not rich
Shouldn't
yet.
Blue buy our tickets?
I'm not rich. We're gonna start a GoFundMe. How about that? But yeah, they did that on the Being Elite episode, and it was a pretty good one. Did you see it? Not yet.
I haven't. And there's a couple that I have missed.
It's hilarious.
I bet it was.
Yo, they like, yeah, because he's Alpha Club now, and freaking Cody Rhodes has an Alpha Club pin on. He's like, what? Are you serious? And he's like taking off on the side. Like, that can't be Alpha Club. Yeah, they're just hilarious.
Continue on with Ring of Honor. I put RPH.
Ring Honor.
Ring Pro Honor.
Ring Pro Honor.
In New Japan. It's been confirmed.
Yep.
They are going to MSG during WrestleMania weekend that Saturday.
During NXT TakeOver.
So where are you going?
I don't know yet.
I'm
not gonna lie to you.
Where are you guys going? Let us know.
Really?
This is very interesting.
You know Vince is gonna pull all the stops. You know that for a fact.
But you see, this is what I've been calling for. That competition makes you better. Not having any competition, they could do whatever they want because wrestling fans were going to watch WWE. This forces you to now put on a better product, especially for your biggest pay-per-view. So that, I think, this is a great move by New Japan and Ring of Honor. Hopefully now it's time for Vince and the WWE to step their game up. I don't know why we forgot to put this in the notes real quick. NXT got some new signings. I'm not going to mention all their names because, again, we're short for time. But Diana Perzana, right? She's one of the person that will be in All In. Okay.
And WWE signed her so she wouldn't be at All In.
Crazy. See?
So that's that competition for you. And speaking of, Rey Mysterio still hasn't signed his contract yet.
Yeah. So
apparently.
we reported that he was supposed to sign by August 1st, but something is being held up because
they don't want him to do All In. And he's already said that he's already committed to New Japan and All In, and he's not trying to back out of it. And they're like, no, we don't want you to do All In.
Competition. War Games is coming for Survivor Series weekend.
Yes, I am excited because I will be out there.
Are you going to be out there?
Yeah, I am.
What about me?
I don't know. You didn't tell me yet.
I like how you make moves and you don't think, we have this show together. It'd be great for us to do something out there together.
You be doing moves yourself without me.
On our last hot topic, right. No, I don't. I make sure
I've asked you, hey, you want to go All In?
Our last hot topic of the night, Hulk Hogan. Hollywood Hulk Hogan has been reinstated back into the WWE's Hall of Fame. He appeared backstage at Extreme Rules. He wanted to speak to the locker room just to apologize.
Yeah, and everybody was mandatory to be there, whether he was on a card or not.
Yep. And he apologized. And one of the things that stood out, which we'll get a little bit more into our debate, he mentioned to be careful what you say because there are cameras everywhere in today's age, right? Mind
you, they were shooting WWE 24 when he said this.
But we'll get into that a little bit later. We had a few people made comments. Some legends made comments about it.
Right.
Jerry the King Lawler thinks that he was interviewed on the Roman show. I don't think it was ran by Roman Reigns, but okay. He felt that it was blown out of proportion, that he's been around Hogan basically, and he's not a racist, and what have you, yada yada.
Right.
Mark Henry said that he would welcome him back with open arms. He noticed that a lot of the black superstars, wrestlers, are 50-50, and an actual quote from him was, I was very optimistic after talking to him. He's like, Mark, I'll do whatever because I want people to see my heart, not what I said anymore. It's an embarrassing thing. I go places and I see people giving me a look I'm not used to getting, and it's been that way since that time. He said, I can't live with it like that. I got to fix it. And I was like, great, you're willing to fix it. I'm willing to help. So that was a quote from Mark Henry. Titus O'Neil, we hear one of the superstars that wasn't necessarily happy about that.
Right.
But it was been reported that he actually stormed off, and apparently that's not true. He didn't. He just wasn't used on the pay-per-view. So after the little meeting or apology, he dipped.
Right.
So who else do we have?
The New Day actually made an official statement on Twitter on Tuesday night. I have a couple of quotes. I can read one. You can read one. Do it like we're in school.
Or you can read it.
You just want me to read everything?
Yeah.
All right.
Don't
cool.
read the whole thing now. But press for time.
All right. My bad. They said, "How do we feel?" I quote from New Day. Kofi Kingston posted it up. "How do we feel? Indifferent. We are not happy or sad or angry or resentful. Who WWE puts in the Hall of Fame is totally and completely up to the company. And from a career standpoint, there is no argument on whether or not Hogan should have his place.
Ooh, take that breath, boy.
I do this like now. On a personal level, when someone makes a racist and hateful comment about race, group, or people, especially to the degree that Hogan made about our people, we find it difficult to simply forget, regardless of how long it was or the situation in which these comments were made. But we also do not respond with more hate. Instead, we just do not associate with the people who convey this negative and hateful mindset. This instance would be no different. Perhaps if we see him make a genuine effort to change, then maybe our opinions will change with him. Time will tell."
So on that note, that leads us to our debate, right?
Will it really be a debate? How do you feel about Hogan coming back and being reinstated into the Hall of Fame?
Wasn't that the debate question?
Yeah.
How I feel. First of all, I'm going to take the stance of New Day. I'm indifferent about it. When you think of wrestling, you think of Hulk Hogan, right? There's no way in hell that you can erase his history and what he's done for the business. You just can't. Right? And I had this conversation, or I commented on someone who, one of our followers commented and said he doesn't believe he's racist. And I think I want to agree with that. I think a lot of people don't know the difference between what racist and being prejudiced is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Racist is like there's actual hatred, right? Whereas prejudice, where it's like, and let's keep it 100. I think most people have their thoughts and mindset that they've said behind doors.
Right. The
you know what I mean?
Stereotypes and such.
Exactly. This, unfortunately, he was caught off guard or wasn't caught off guard. He was just recorded.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was used against him. It's not right. I'm not condoning that. It wasn't right. But at the same time, I don't know. But then it goes back to what we mentioned in the hot topics. You apologize, but then in the same breath said, be careful what you say because there's cameras everywhere. So that leads me to believe, are you actually sorry, or you're sorry that you got caught? Because why would you say that? You should keep it at, well, I'm sorry, this is not how I feel, or I've changed, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then for Jerry the King Lawler to say he thinks it was blown out of proportion. Well, no, it wasn't blown out of proportion because the man said, I'm a racist to a point.
Right. And then offended a lot of people.
Okay, so I'm indifferent. If he's willing to make a change and do better, I'm all for it. I believe there's good in everybody and people learn from their mistakes. However, how much did you learn from your mistakes if you said there's cameras everywhere?
Right.
And be careful what you say, which is real facts. You should absolutely be careful what you say in this day and age. But you know what I mean? So it's always this stereotype, not the stereotype, but we have this whole big thing with race and wrestling. You know what I mean? A lot of people feel that people of color, especially black superstars, don't really get that shine.
Right.
Like they should. They're not glorified enough. We haven't actually had a WWE champion. The only one is The Rock, and
that's kind of
exactly, especially because he's half Samoan.
Right.
We've seen it numerous of times. Even you go like Sasha Banks, people have their theory because she's half black. You know what I mean? And the whole thing with New Day, Sasha and Cedric. Swan took that picture,
and that's one of my things. I was like, so when they took that picture, they took the titles off Sasha and Swan. They didn't do it off New Day because they're merch makers.
Sasha is too, but we're not going to talk about her. But what do you think?
one of your points that you said, like, to me, it's hard because Hogan is a very big memory. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think about wrestling, you can think of, like, at least 20 different moments that Hogan had, and we all love the business. But then you have people that don't watch the business that sees this happen. I had a friend literally DM me, was like, this is what they think about people. And that hurt because it was like, how can I defend this? Like, I can't. And it's kind of the way the New Day takes it. It's like, I'm indifferent because, again, he's Hulk Hogan, but then why did he get it passed? And one of our followers on Instagram was like comparing it to Chris Benoit. And I get what he meant by it. It was like, you offended a lot of people by what you said. And he himself said, I'm kind of racist. I'm racist to a point. I'm racist to a point. I don't think you should have used that kind of term. And it kind of stings me because you made money off of that video. How much of that money did you donate back into the community that you said that about?
And I hear what you're saying. You shouldn't have said that. I just, again, going back to what I said earlier, I don't think a lot of people realize the definitions of certain words. It's kind of like when people ask you, what's your nationality? Right. Meaning when they actually mean, well, obviously I'm American, but when they actually mean what's your ethnicity? Right. Right? People don't know how to decipher the two. So it goes back down to that. I truly believe, and I could be naive, I don't think he's a racist. I mean, I
don't think so either.
You've never heard really anything.
I just read something from Pope. Remember Pope? Yeah. He posted something where he made sure to explain how Hogan reached out to him when he was in TNA and made him feel comfortable and wanted to, help him in his career. Yeah. And he wanted to tell the story now so that people could see that sometimes people just make mistakes. And I felt that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm so indifferent, but it's hard to explain that to people that don't watch the business.
And just everything that's going on nowadays with just race and everything and just what have you. It's a weird situation. I can't get mad at anyone for being mad, and I can't be mad at someone that
like Mark Henry.
You know what I mean?
You can't get mad at either side.
Yeah. So,
especially in this business, we always try to keep politics out. Yeah. Because if you knew, it's like meeting your hero. They always tell you don't meet your hero because then you see who they truly are. Mm-hmm. It's kind of the same thing with the business. Like,
you touched me.
I'm sorry. You gonna sue me?
Okay.
All right then.
All right.
But yeah, it's like kind of like the business. Like, you try to keep your personal thoughts to yourself because then it could get you in trouble. I know a few people that got in trouble in the business for speaking their minds. So
I mean, even just besides even like nothing that heavy, you've seen numerous of times people lost their jobs from, or in general, not even wrestling. If you speak against the company that you work for, best believe you're getting reprimanded some way or somehow. So
don't talk. This is always saying don't talk about religion and politics.
It's the truth.
In the work area.
It's the truth. I remember. Keep it real short. I remember when I used to work at my other location at my job. Right. I got into a heated debate about politics because we just had a difference of opinion. Right. But it gets heated. Yeah. So there's certain things that you just gotta
let it go.
Let it go. On that note, I hope that Hogan really did learn from the situation, and he's a legend. Yeah. So hopefully all this we can grow from this and what have you.
There's a theory that Bobby Lashley's going to win the title at SummerSlam and Hogan is going to want to be presented to him. I hope that's not what happens.
I hope they don't do that.
I hope not.
Because it's kind of like those situations like, I hate certain type of people. Well, my friend is big. You know what I mean? It's like one of those situations. I hope they don't do. Just if he's going to win, let him win. That's it. We don't need
Don't do nothing special about it. Don't need Hogan to come out there presenting no titles. I was like, yo, please don't do this. Like, Triple H, we believe in you. Please don't let this happen.
And that is our show. Thank you for everybody for tuning in and the call-ins. Again, thank you for the 100
subscribers on YouTube.
Let's get to what's the next milestone? 150 or 200?
250.
Boom. 250. We're going for 250, yo.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's turn down the hood a little bit. Again, don't forget we have our giveaway. If you wear a size small in women, we are doing a Roman Reigns giveaway. So make sure you go to our Instagram page at the Mixed Tag Show to see the rules. And it's going on till next week, and we'll announce the winner next week.
Also hit us up on our personal Instagram and Twitter at
Miss Jenna Baby, B-A-Y-E. B-A-Y-B-E-E. Almost forgot that B.
You almost forgot it.
Okay.
And also, you hit me up at Blue Magic Grind, spelled how it sound. And on that note,
too sweet me. Oh, nah. We have a handshake, guys. My fault. Boom.
It's the Mix Tag Show. The Mix Tag Show. With Jenna and Blue.